What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash. Shout out to the Dragon Riders and the House of the Dragon. We're sitting at about about $400 right now, and I got some splaining to do, man. I got some splaining to do. I think I was wrong, you guys, and I don't even think it. I feel it in my soul. I believe that I was wrong. This is the low. I don't think that we're going to go lower. I was looking at some things on the BTC chart, which I also think found its low. It's a little spoiler for the video that I'm about to make on Bitcoin. That would suggest that we are actually at a low point in the cycle, and we're about to start moving up. So it all makes sense. It's not perfect. Never going to be perfect. Can't always be right. Can't always be wrong. I've been wrong before. I will be wrong again, and this is just one of those times. If we look at this overall range from this high to this low, we are still below the 50% line. So from this overall consolidation phase, we're still on the lower, below the 382 even. We're still on the lower limits. You know, I didn't nail it, didn't get it perfectly, but it's not too late to hop on the bullish train, to hop on the green dragon, and ride with my fellow dragon rider. So that's what I'm doing now. I am behind the idea that this is low. I have foregone the idea that we will go lower to that 270, 260 area. And I was wrong. Waving the white flag, there it is. We didn't have to break 410 for that. We did hit $405. We could be at an area now where we're finding resistance. I am calling for the price to go down. If we move up at all from here, I would think that we find resistance around 410 to 420, somewhere in that zone. But likely we would move down to about $360 to potentially like $344, you know, something like this at this low. We could be forming some kind of inverse head and shoulders, which that's something I've been alluding to over the past like few days, right? That could be what we're doing. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but nevertheless, this is a perfect area, a very normal area to find resistance and then move down. Not just on this fib scale, not just on this high to low, but if we go out a little bit more on a larger fib scale, from this low to high, we hit our 618, tipped it perfectly, beautiful, and are up at our 382 now. It's very common to work your way out like this, you know, kind of coming out. And this 0.5 is at about 344, which does line up very well, again, with this low that we had here. So if we had that kind of look, that would look really perfect for an inverse head and shoulders, to be completely fair. So, but just multiple fibs showing that we would have resistance somewhere in this area. If we move above $409, you know, maybe we go to like 420, something like that. But I do think soon enough we're going to find resistance, if not already. And I feel comfortable enough saying that this is probably a relative high. When I say a relative high, I don't mean a high like this. I mean like a high like this, right? Like we're going to continue to build our way up. We probably won't spill over afterwards. But for now, if not here, a little bit higher to go, we probably will pull back to that 360 to 344 area and then move up. So if anybody's looking to get into Bitcoin Cash, I might say hold your horses, right? It never hurts to buy more, especially if you have no exposure. But if you're like me and you've been invested in Bitcoin Cash since well over a year ago now, I don't think there's any rush, right? You should have your bags packed, and if you have a little extra cheddar on the side that you want to garnish on top of your holdings, then I'm personally going to wait until it drops a little bit more. I will buy if I see the prices below 360. If not, I'll just look elsewhere. There's plenty of opportunity in the markets. Bitcoin Cash is my biggest hold. I have no problem, and I always feel good. I sleep safe at night. I sleep well at night knowing that my investments are safe and sound every time that I buy Bitcoin Cash. It's never something that I have remorse for. Even if, and I didn't buy the highs, but even if I bought the highs, you know, it's a comfortable feeling for me every time. But I have enough of it. I'm always looking to diversify or put my money in things that might grow more than Bitcoin Cash, but this is just a safe bet for me. So I would feel comfortable putting more money in this as long as it's below like $360 here. You know, my last purchase was at 390. We're above that now, so it's not in me to kind of like chase, and I feel like I would be chasing if I bought it here. But enough about me. All that to say, guys, if we go up from here a little bit, when we go down, we probably go down soon. If not today, then after we move up a little bit more, and then probably pull down to that 360 to 344 area specifically. And then from there, work our way up. Then the next target would be $510. And then from there, guys, we break that, and it's on to new highs for the cycle, not new all-time highs. I mean, obviously, I think we're moving on to new all-time highs, but that's kind of the gist of that. I'm excited for the fact that this is the low. I'm excited that we have our low in. It doesn't mean that we're going to move up immediately, right? but soon enough, we will be at new highs relative to this. And I'm excited for what that means on the BTC chart. If we look at the BTC chart, yet again, talking about this daily now, love talking about it because it's very exciting. That is not what I meant to do. If anybody didn't know, you can do that. You can overlap your RSI and your price action if you want to. You click it, you grab it, and then boom. You can do the same thing with like your volume, any indicators, right? You can do that. I don't like doing that. If I ever do that, it's an accident. But for anybody that likes the way that looks or wants to make that work, that is an option for you to do in case you didn't know that. There's a lot of features in TradingView that I wasn't made aware of for like a long time, right? It takes years to kind of figure out all the features, or maybe not even years. I'm sure if you did your research, you could figure things out quicker, but there's probably still a bunch of features I'm not completely aware of. Anyways, like these buttons here, I'm aware of what they do, but I don't see the point in it. It just seems so dumb. I wish they didn't exist, but maybe they're more useful than I'm actually aware of. Anyways, let's get back on topic here. The weekly RSI is looking very bullish. This is a very bullish look on the weekly BTC RSI, man. I can't stress enough how bullish this looks, right? Like just higher lows, perfect. We bounced right off of this 40 area, looking nice. What about the USD? Did it bounce off the 40 area too? Kind of. That's a nice enough look too. I do feel very confident that that's the low. With this movement up, we are going to get a higher high versus Bitcoin, and that will just solidify the fact that Bitcoin Cash is in an uptrend versus Bitcoin, which would be the first established uptrend we've had ever in this thing's history, which I think is a very big deal. And I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I know I've said this a lot over the past week, but the reason I keep talking about it, guys, is because it really is a big deal. I think it's something that most cryptos do not experience, right? If they ever do experience, it's in their first cycle. But most cryptos that look like this throughout their history, and most of them do, they lose value versus Bitcoin over their history, right? They might have one cycle where they do well, and then the rest is history. Most do not turn the boat around. They don't do that. So this is a very big deal. And I think traction and attention for Bitcoin Cash will really gain on this next move up. I think the doubters and the naysayers they already don't really have a leg to stand on, in my opinion. We're already up versus Bitcoin this cycle, but that leg will continue to get kicked out from underneath them, and we might even turn some of them into Bitcoin Cash Dragon Riders, man. We might even start to get some new investors in, you know. But time will tell. I'm looking at the daily RSI. Enough talk. The daily RSI would suggest that we go a little bit lower, in my opinion. Not lower than this, but just a little bit lower from a high to a low point. Yeah, down to about 0.006. So we might lose some value versus Bitcoin. I don't know. I haven't looked at the Bitcoin chart. I have looked at the Bitcoin chart, but more on a long-term perspective. I haven't looked at the immediate term, so I am going to make a short-term analysis on that after this video. But I would assume Bitcoin's probably near its high. Bitcoin Cash is probably near its high. If it's going to lose value versus Bitcoin over the coming days, go down to this area. Even down to this area would be fine. All that would mean is Bitcoin goes down, Bitcoin Cash goes down more. It could be that Bitcoin continues to grow, and then Bitcoin Cash goes down, and that causes the loss of value. But whatever the case may be, I'm very confident that that's the low. Very confident that we are on our way up to forming our first ever higher low, higher high trend versus Bitcoin, and having an established uptrend, which it's just phenomenal, man. I'm very, very, very excited about it. Is there anything else that I want to say? I'm not too excited about the daily RSI versus Bitcoin right now, but I think it has the capabilities. It looks like it has the right setup to be productive. What we would need to see for sure, and I think we will see it, is this higher low. That's just it, right? Once we break out of this RSI would start to, you know, then we'd have a higher high with a higher high. We wouldn't have this hidden bearish divergence anymore looming over us, and we would probably be breaking out of this more immediate downtrend and thus solidifying the break of, or beginning to solidify the break of the more prevailing downtrend. Yeah, but anyways, guys, that's all I got to say. Hit that like button, subscribe if I want to see more. It sucks to be wrong sometimes, but you know, if you're making money when you're wrong, I think you're doing it right. So hopefully people were prepared one way or another. You know, whether you thought the price was going lower or not, you didn't sell out, or you took the opportunity to buy more and just DCA. Whatever the case may be, if you were like me and assuming that the price is going down, it's no fun being wrong, but it's a little bit more fun when you're still making money and being wrong. So that's all I got to say. Take care, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.